You looking for me, you can find me at the barbershop. Pulling up to get a cut, bumping through the parking lot. I keep it clean, Rico's where I'm running to. If you in the city, then you probably gonna be coming to. Gang getting down, Red's getting down, Nick getting down, Ron getting down, just to name a few. Everybody blade on point. You trying to get fresh, I'm telling you this the joint. Hands down, top shop up in this vicinity. Promises age 9, LaRon been getting me. Temper on the side, I'm trying to grow out the...
Guys, welcome to the K.O.S. Barber Club podcast, where we discuss the collection of wisdom on the science of everything in life. And we do so by interviewing our guests and seeing where they obtained the self-awareness to create a self-concept to become the person they are today. And with me today, I got a fellow Miami and Kendall native that is part of the crazy hood regime that has taken over hip-hop in Miami.
Thank you.
It's been a long journey, but we're here.
Thank you.
Drink Champ Sports representative and a really good guy, Colombian, by the way, Paul.
Thank you very much, bro. We appreciate the compliment. Crazy Hood, you know, it's been 32 years. I think many people know that now because we ain't afraid to say it, and we constantly say it because years back, we didn't get these opportunities. We didn't get these interviews. People didn't want to invite us. We were so, what hip-hop is, machismo and braggadocious. Yeah. We had to be that, especially in that vibe back then. So for us to be super shout out and cocky and arrogant and then, you know, just be hip hop, yeah, it didn't rub a lot of people the right way. So nobody really wanted to invite us to do freestyles, mixtapes, and just appearances. So now, fast forward, this is a dope opportunity, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. Of course, man. You know, EFN is usually the go-to. He's the face of the crew. He's the general. We love him to death. And then we all fall right into rank, you know. So I used to be the punch you in the face motherfucker. Yeah. So now I've been able to, you know.
Gain control,
diversify the portfolio, as people like to say, switch my hats when the time is right. I'm a Paul of all trades, so there's many things and layers that I can do. And thank you. Let me be here,
brother. Bro. Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I wanted to bring you on because you're the one that reached out because of Fayn, because of Vega. Yep. Shout out to Fayn and Vega.
Yeah, I did reach out for the Fayn interview because it's my job.
You're the manager.
It's my duty as far as representing Fayn, representing Curly J, representing Vega.
Curly J, we're gonna get you in here, man. Yep. I got you.
Curly J is one of the hardest workers in Miami as far as an artist.
Hey yo.
Yeah, he got a great attitude. And he
great energy, man.
So
amazing.
All of that to me reflects my representation. So my job is to reach out to people like yourself, people that have a platform, building a platform, you know, so far and so on. And I'm glad you was able to have Fayn on the show. And then I'm glad that came back when you offered me the opportunity. I'm in, bro. Let's do it.
Yeah, man. I gotta give you the seat so you could tell the story, because I've heard EFN tell it, and I've heard everybody tell it, but what really got me to want you to come in was when we were downstairs after the Fayn interview. You were like, yo, what crew you with? I'm like looking at you like, what crew? What are you talking about? So then I started realizing, damn, his mindset is on that. Like,
absolutely.
Like crew. Like what crew? Like
who you roll with is what I say.
Exactly.
I said, who you roll with? You got a crew?
Bro, God is my crew. And I just roll with whoever has the good energy.
How was you back when you was younger? You ain't roll with nobody? You wasn't like cocky and arrogant your own way?
I don't think I was cocky and arrogant, even though people told me I was cocky and arrogant. Like, my girl tells me all the time, she's like, you don't know how it is to go to school and be insecure. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I was insecure. Everybody's insecure.
I kind of agree with that.
I just didn't like, fall into the thought process of, like, oh, man, I can't do it. I was always like, I'll do it. I don't care.
I'll tell you why I asked that question. Mm-hmm. Because coming from out of town, coming from out of state, I'm from New Jersey originally, and then all of my brothers are from out of state. EFN from California, Drain is from London, Hector is from Chicago, and Orlando, his brother, and then Rich is from Boston. You know, Garcia and Charles, they're the only ones real from Miami. Okay. Also is from New Jersey. Big Boris, Beats in the Hood, he's from Peru. So I say that to say when we were all here and we actually started gelling as a crew, you know, we were seen as outsiders. We were seen as these dudes can't be real. These dudes can't be friends. It's too many of them to be friends. Like, there's no way.
Too many characters.
That was, great fucking word. Too many personalities. Yeah. Too much. How is that going on so early? And then we used to rap and talk shit. So when we used to come across other crews, it was like who you with, who you roll with, who you roll with, because it was real shit. And then in the early mid '90s, a lot of gangs.
Yeah.
So people was always asking who you clicked up with, who you with, who you roll with. So it was always a lot of gangs, and we crossed all of them, just like we crossed a lot of the hip hop crews. So now at my age and the age that I'm at, I'm usually now I could talk, I could break ice, I could talk to a lot of people,
Got it.
not knowing anybody. So I'm usually that guy. I become that guy in the crew where I'm the filter, I'm the buffer.
You're the
for
buffer,
EFN.
got it.
Because a lot of people want to meet EFN. A lot of people want to come to him, and then it's like, hey, what's up, dog? How you doing? I'm Paul. Who you with?
Yeah.
And that helps me identify who you are.
Yeah.
You know
Tell
what
me
I'm
who
saying?
you with. I'll tell you who you are.
Exactly. So that's
Yeah,
real.
no, I mean, I grew up on the beach, so it was always beach clique, right?
Miami
It was
Beach?
just, from 7-1 all the way to 1st Street. So we just always played soccer, hung out, played basketball, knew everybody. It wasn't really like a clique thing because, there was a lot of gangs. And if you would go out and you be with the wrong the people at the time, you get involved in a lot of crazy shit. And then we couldn't because we were like, that's also why I brought you here, because sports champs, right? So I'm thinking athletics, and I'm thinking I'm trying to get to a college and do more.
Right.
So I can't be hanging out with the thugs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like my boy Luis Palomino, bare knuckle fighter, champion, 9-time champion. I was always hanging out with him, but he would always get into situations, and I would be like, damn, Lou, why you getting into He's like, nah, man, I'm not going to let this guy disrespect us or disrespect me. And I'm like, yeah, but we could just walk away.
The energy in the 90s was so raw that
especially in South Beach,
everybody was on edge at the same time being lavish in what we saw in hip-hop as the suit era, the nice flashy suit.
Nah, I wasn't about it.
No, me neither.
Nobody was about that.
None of us was.
I was New York shit.
That's what kept us indifferent. That's what kept us we ain't with that crowd. Me and Hector like Redman Meth in the crew. So me and Heck was white T-shirts, blue jeans, and Timbs. And we used to get a lot of people joke on us. Y'all wearing Timbs in the heat? Man, we don't give a fuck. We hip-hop. And that was always an answer with a lot of things. But that's what it was in hip-hop, bro. And I want to thank you for the Pinot Grigio, my brother. Thank you so much.
I got the most expensive bottle I could find.
And it's hitting the moment. I want to say this before we continue. I don't know if this is going to be the best episode you've had or the worst.
It's starting off pretty good, man.
Because the range of Crazy Hood, the range of Paul, it wasn't always the positive. I said that earlier. So now it's growing, it's gelling, everybody's showing the love. Yeah. And then you also got to be careful on the love, because a lot of people use that to manipulate the situation for their better. But
you can't think like that, bro.
No,
I'm a strong believer
like
in that. In la vida,
yes.
Everything that is meant for you is going to be there for you.
Oh, no, that's a given. That's a given.
So that's why I said the reason I wanted to bring you in was your approach towards introducing me to Fayn and these people.
Facts.
I was like, yo, that's mad respect. And then you came and you showed face with him, and then energy was great. And I'm like, yo, Paul's a cool-ass dude.
Thank you, bro.
So then I had to go to the UN party.
Thank you, bro.
And that was even more energy. I was like, bro.
Party.
I was like, I got to get it.
Shout out to Ray. RV3 and Copper Blues for the watch party, the UN watch party.
That was dope.
It was
that was
really
dope.
cool.
That was
I
fine.
appreciate you coming. That shit was a blast.
Yeah,
we
man.
lost, but fuck it.
It was still a blast.
Yeah.
But you said the bad energy, it used to be there. So let's go.
Yes.
Knowledge of self. I always ask this. What was your first conscious thought as a kid? Like when you were first, let's say 4, 5, 6 years old, whenever it was that you got a conscious and thought, okay, I'm here. I'm present.
Yo, so Weird Thoughts is the rap name I had in the group The All. The All is EFN, Heckler, Big Drain, and myself.
But this was your first conscious?
No. I'm gonna get to it. I've been blessed to have moments in our lives, whether it's reality check or a common thought at a young age to now. So I said that because at an early, young, Weird Thoughts age, it develops the person that we are even to today, because I still get that joke with my dogs. But at the earliest age, bro.
This episode is made possible by a dear friend of mine whose sponsorship allows us to bring you the highest quality episodes in the business. Our sponsor is CarAccidentAttorney.com. If you've been involved in a car accident and have sustained injuries, don't hesitate to seek assistance. Call 954-FREE-FEE for a complimentary consultation at 954-373-3333. CarAccidentAttorney.com connects you with the right legal experts so you can focus on your recovery while they diligently fight for the compensation you deserve. And remember to always live, laugh, and love. Peace.
I was in a fist fight in daycare.
Okay, so that had to be, what, 5, 4?
Yes.
Because kindergarten, first grade.
Before kindergarten.
Kindergarten is 6 years old, so you had to be 4 or 5.
Right.
Okay, so take us there.
Oh, shit. So my parents dropped me off at a daycare. I'm the youngest of 5. I didn't, like, at that time, I didn't know, right? I'm just alive. You know what I'm saying? So I remember my mom dressed me up, though, and I was wondering, why are you dressing me up? Like, I'm going back to the same spot I would go to. It was just a regular school day.
Okay.
But this day, I had the button-down silk and a vest.
Graduation?
Yeah, it was like picture day or some shit. I don't know.
Okay.
So I show up, and now I'm getting joked on by the other kids because they not dressed up. And why am I dressed up? You know what I'm saying? So they joking, and then I don't get it. And then
You got hot.
Yeah, I got hot. And then when I got hot, I must have said something slick. I can't remember. But all I know is that the pushing and the shoving came. And, you know, back in my age at that time, if I'm 5, that means it's 1980. You feel me? So it was 80, 81, whatever. So the pushing and the pushing come, and then next you know, we wrestling, and then we on the floor, we grinding, we pushing, we holding each other. And then why I have that memory? Because I've been able to remember that day every day because the school picture came back.
And you were all wrecked.
And my silk button-down shirt is ripped in my shoulder.
Tugged out.
So it's in the picture. So I'm smiling like it's a brand new day, but my shirt is ripped. And my mom was like, why is it ripped? And
the struggle's real, man.
And I've been able to tell this story to this day. I had a fight on picture day in pre-K, you know, and back then it wasn't even pre-K. Classic.
So
memory.
that was your first conscious thought you're saying right now.
Yeah, well, having a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, having a kid.
That explains a lot. So
Having a
from
kid.
that experience, you've always, I guess, tailored your life through that type of feeling. Like, don't push me, don't touch me, because I'm going to go off.
Well, no, not necessarily. More like defensive, you know, more protecting myself. Not I'm gonna go off. More like you you might hit me in the face once. Everybody get that first hit, but where's the reaction? You know, where how I can't continue to get hit. You know, so you know, and then you know I had a fist fight in 3rd grade. You know, not knowing how to use the hip hop language, or at that time it wasn't even hip hop then. It was just the streets.
Knowledge.
So growing up in New Jersey, the knowledge, I was going to say hip-hop in New York, but in knowledge myself in Jersey, you know, the slang is always there. So what's up, bro? What's up, my man? Or what's up with the N-word?
Yeah.
You know, so I used that at a young age.
Oh, they weren't having that.
And I got punched right in the face. So there was no conversation. It was me saying, nah, and, you know, and boom. Now I got to defend myself.
Yeah.
Because I didn't understand what was going on, but we live life.
So how long did you live in Jersey for?
All my life, till I was 17.
All right, let's go there. So you lived the Jersey life. You came to Miami. You went to Braddock.
No. Garcia, my brother, is from Braddock.
Yeah.
But I came from Jersey and went to Sunset.
Okay.
Now,
like a couple blocks away.
Yeah. I mean, at that time, I think that was like Braddock's first year. I don't remember. But
yeah, that's right. It was in the school.
My cousin also, you know, he moved a year early to Kendall with his family. So he was already in Sunset. So when I came that summer, you know, or right in the middle of junior year, you know, I moved to Sunset. Your cousin's going to Sunset, you might as well go there to acclimate, you know, transition better. My parents knew that I was pissed because I had a job in Jersey already at that age. I was working for McDonald's and a department store called Bradley's. You feel me?
McDowell's.
Yeah, I was there. Well, McDowell's is in Queens, but I was on Main Avenue, right? So I was working in McDonald's at 15, 16. You know, I was already making my paycheck. I was already buying my clothes and shit.
And then they ripped you from that.
And then it was like, we moving.
How'd you feel with that?
I hated it. I had another cousin of mine that I did in today's time, he's security at Tootsie's. You feel me? Like right now, me and him, 30 years back, we was like, yo, I know we 16 years old, but we're going to move out together. Like, I'm going to get
out to like in Miami or go back to Jersey?
No, Jersey. This was before we even left.
You guys were plotting.
Yeah, yo, we might as well just move in together, man. We get a room and you pay for food. We split it.
Yeah.
And we did that whole conversation for about 3 or 4 months. And then it ended up just not happening. You know, like we kids, so the fucking talking shit was there.
It's like, all right, where the money at? Oh.
So no, like I said, I was working. So I was
Okay.
working and he was working. So we had money, but it wasn't like to pay and live on your own at 16.
Correct.
So long story short, so now I'm in Miami. Also introduces me to a couple people that he knew, being that he was here a year already. So he introduced me to Donuts, who's my brother to this day. He's part of the crew. Another dude, and Eric.
Nice.
Who's EFN. So when our first conversation was hip hop, like off the bat. So where you from? From California. Where you from? I'm from New Jersey. All right, you listen to hip hop? Boom. What do you like to listen to? Ice Cube. I fucking love Ice Cube. And 33 years later, we still talking hip hop. You know. So that was it.
Hip hop like was the point where okay, you like hip hop, I like hip hop. Right, we're all hip hop has just ride.
And that was it. And we've been rocking ever since.
That's a Crazy Hood birth, or that was just the beginning?
Nah,
of
that
friendship?
was just crew. So we used to chill in a park called Sugarwood Park.
Okay.
In Kendall. So, you know, the suburbs is real. Like, everybody know Kendall's not a hood, regardless of what A-Rod said about a couple months ago. You know, there was a lot of gangs. There was a lot of fights. There was a lot of break-ins. You know, there was a lot of house parties being raided. There was a lot of shit going on.
That was mostly like 152 area.
Well, 152, Burr Road, fucking Killian, like we was around. That's why Crazy Hood gets notoriety and its props, because we ain't just chilling 152. I actually lived in 152 for 2 years, but we was going around the neighborhood. You know, Coconut Grove, South Beach, even that 16, 17, well,
yeah,
17,
that was like
18.
Yeah, Halloween, you were right out there.
We was there. So long story short, we're in Sugarwood because we play ball, play basketball. We still did that shit. And Sugarwood boys, they used to call us because we used to go to different parks. People would come to our park, play ball. Yo, where you at? Where you from? Color Ridge? We're going to Color Ridge tomorrow. And then we all go to Color Ridge and them Sugarwood boys, and then we just ball it up.
Nice.
And then we, you know, EFN was the first one in the crew with a car. So he used to bring his white 2-door Tercel, pump, just get that we all chipped in. I don't know, I might be high right now. I don't know if we all chipped in or he had speakers, but we were booming.
Everybody had speakers. That was the thing.
EPMD and everything, bro. So we became Sugarwood boys, and then people used to call us Kendall Park boys because we was from Kendall.
Yeah.
And we go to different parks. So all of that was early 90s, mid-90s, late 90s, and, well, mid-90s. And then when we was graduating Sunset, EFN came up with a business option or his own entrepreneur spirit. Like, we all knew we wasn't the college students. Like, we all graduated 93 and a half. You feel me? Like, we didn't graduate on time. So when EFN said, yo, I really want to do this hip-hop, I feel in my gut feeling, like he could say it in better words, but
intuition. Yeah,
this is it. I want to do something. I want to do hip-hop, and I want to call it Crazy Hood Productions. And he had his own philosophy for those particular words.
A vision.
You know, we was there.
Yeah, because when I heard Crazy Hood, I'm like, Kendall? I remember when people told me Crazy Hood, I was like, Kendall?
No, not.
Because in my world, Kendall. I would like, dude, when I would go, because I played soccer, right? So we would go play in Braddock. We would go play in the hammocks. We would go play in Sunset against these schools, and I would look at these schools. I'd be like, damn, these kids got bread. They got Hondas. They got, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I'm thinking to myself, like, Crazy Hood, like. But then I heard his explanation of it, that it was like, yo, they're just crazy kids that wear hoodies. I get it.
Well, that was the easy explanation.
Okay.
You know, because being crazy was us, well, EFN, you know, growing up in a household where his father fought in Viet and, you know, in the war, and being a single child and, you know, from a family, you know, his parents were divorced, you know, he felt a certain way about his situation, and we all respect that. We've all have our own grief.
Correct.
You know. At 10 years old, I had 2 of my friends from Jersey pass away. I had 5 after I got dropped off playing basketball with them. Wow. So we all went through our different experiences.
Yeah.
But he felt crazy. And then the hoodie part was not just that we wear hoodies. It was just the hip-hop style of fashion that we were.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if we weren't hoodie, you know, you was part of that culture. You was part of that group, you know. And then we, being kids, getting dropped off at school at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, and the school is as cold as TGK. Yeah, it's cold as shit. So now we're rocking hoodies.
Yeah.
And this is to
see, in my school in Beach High, the AC didn't work.
Well, there you go.
That's so everybody's there on tank tops and white tees. Like, damn.
Nah, they had the AC on frigid.
Because you said it was brand new school.
Right. Well, no, Braddock was.
Yeah,
Sunset,
his school.
I don't remember, but so no, your friend went to Sunset too.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, we all went to Sunset except for Garcia
Because he was the only one who went to Braddock.
from the crew.
Okay.
And then I mean, your friend went to Killian. He bounced around, but we all ended up at Sunset.
So if you guys went to different schools, how did you end up clicking up?
Great question. So after we graduated, like Charles Skins, he went to Sunset. Heckler went to Sunset. Like we all went to Sunset. So Heckler is rolling with a crew of his own. At that point, he was here from Chi-Town, so he already had his mix of friends. Drain came from London, so my brother walked into whatever class it was, and I was one of the first ones to meet him. So me and Drain been friends ever, like we're brothers. And then Charles was already there, and me and EFN met, right? So now we're in Sugarwood playing ball. So now EFN is taking it to the next level. Yo, I want to discuss something. I want to see who's down. So we 40 deep, 4-0. We 40 deep on friendship and basketball and hip-hop. And then that filtered all the way down to where we are now with 10. So hip-hop has always been the mainstay. Hip-hop been the backbone of our friendship. And then we've all been through it all in 30 years.
So let me ask you a question. You being part of the clique, right, friendship, basketball, the whole nine, was there ever a time where you had this thought, like, you know what, I think I want to do my own thing?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, take us there. How did you go from I want to do my own thing to, you know what, I'm going to continue this this team?
Well, when I say my own thing, to me, my explanation of my own thing is hip-hop is great. We're doing mixtapes. We're doing parties, EFN and Eddie Giggs put together a retail store that's called Crazy Goods. Like we're doing mixtapes on behalf of EFN. But my own thing at the time wasn't go solo as an artist or do my own thing. It was more like the paper's coming in, but it's not taking care of 10 dudes. So I got to go do my own thing. And my own thing to me was facilitate my 24 hours of the day. I got to go get a job. I got to go do that. So it's not necessarily do my own thing outside of music. That's been a no.
Got it.
Our whole crew, our DNA has been so rooted in Crazy Hood. There is no outside. Not one of us have ever had a thought of idea to say, let me go dolo. Let me do something different. Nah, we've been so attached to the hip per se, it just never came through.
So what do you think is the glue of that crew?
Great question, bro. Was the glue to Crazy Hood? Brotherhood.
Oof. Because the reason I asked that is knowledge yourself, right? So say a kid is watching this, he has a crew.
I'll tell you my weird thought philosophy on that, right?
Okay.
This is my answer. When my brothers see this, they're gonna be like, you crazy, dog. You're always saying some shit. But this is my philosophy. I'm the youngest of 5 in my family, but I'm 100% by myself 100% of the time. Like I rock dolo. In other words, my brothers and my sisters are older than me. So even in Jersey, I was by myself with a couple friends or always dolo. EFN is the only child. Garcia is the only child. Charles is the oldest of a brother-sister, but as the older brother and going to the Army, he's dolo. Drain has 2 sisters, so he's a dolo dude. And Hector and Orlando, they're brothers. And they've been able to show us to show me that brotherhood early, where they're 2 totally different people, but they all come together. Rich, he's the oldest son of his blended family, but he's always dolo. So it's a lot of us single individuality, but together we're something.
Together it's a unit.
Together we're a unit. We're Crazy Hood, and the hip hop just kept us there. And then EFN's leadership and EFN's
Or his vision.
His vision, we all believed it, followed it, and his leadership kept us motivated because I had kids at an early age, Hector had kids at an early age, Rich had kids at an early age, and EFN, was locked in. So when we was all spread, kind of say thin, doing our family shit, so, working,
Yeah.
he kept the hip hop.
Yeah.
He kept the hip-hop efficiently. He kept the hip-hop consistently. Yo, I got studio. I want to do this. Yo, come to the house. I got DJ equipment. And then that was our go-to spot. So
it was like a light.
it was a light. It was our place to be kids. You know, even at our age, I still say I'm a fan of hip hop. I'm a fan of the artists we interview. I'm a fan of everything.
Culture, man. That's
so
a culture.
we're young at heart, and that never left. We still record music. We still have fun. So that keeps us close.
Yeah, I asked that because, like I said, somebody's gonna watch this as a kid. He might have a crew, but you know, like every crew. Perfect example: the movie Juice. They were all tight until it got a little crazy.
The movie?
No pun intended. Yeah, the movie Juice. You know how they were crew, and then all of a sudden this guy Tupac murks the dude, and all of a sudden they're caught up in a crazy mess.
Well, I won't say we ain't had our bad times, you know, but what we were able to accomplish, and I say this with the utmost confidence, in all the people we met in Miami and all the people we've crossed in Miami as far as hip-hop industry, hip-hop community, you know, people do see us solid. Even to this day, damn, I can't believe y'all still together. Yo, I can't believe y'all still together. Yo, EFN, yo, as much success as you got, you know, you keep the same people around. Yo, Paul, as much as you do, you keep the same you around.
The safest thing to do.
Not only the safest thing, we never steered from public negativity. What I mean by that is you won't see us argue in front of anybody. You won't see us call us out in front of anybody. Anything that happens within the family, behind closed doors, yo, let me holler at you over here, bro. And then we have our discussion, we have our shit, our brother fights, whatever it is, never in the public eye. So Crazy Hood has a shield, and that's the Brotherhood. You can't break that. Nobody can break that.
Mad respect. Because not that many people think like that.
Right.
A lot of people use their emotions and then their intuition, they push it to the side. From outside looking in,
with 10 people?
What I see is I see a group of people that love hip hop, and they put other people ahead of themselves, and that is very rare. And I always hashtag it like artist fellowship.
Yeah, that's
and
dope.
I think you guys define that.
Thank you.
Because everybody's an artist in their own little way, but they all like support. Like if Garcia's doing a little thing, everybody's there.
Yep. And
if
even
Drain
if
is
it's not
doing a
thing,
photography
there.
thing,
Right.
everybody's there.
Right.
It's like, damn, that's what Miami needs.
Right. And that whole story of Miami don't help each other. You know, I think
You guys flipped that.
I think we are the contrast.
Yes.
You know? And as much as we can identify it when we speak it in these type of platforms and situations, we could also say, bro, we show love, even though we got in the hate. You know, we show love. We the first ones to go shake your hand, knowing you talk shit about us. Because now we also confrontational in that aspect of, all right, bro, what are you going to do? Let's get it over with.
Yeah.
Because we got a schedule. You know, so it's like we don't defer and we don't deter and we ain't badass gangsters. You know, we ain't toting guns anymore like we was kids talking shit, feeling we were dope. You know, for 3 years I had the razor blade in my mouth like Keith Murray. Like, it was a lot of shit. So now we passed that. So now it's more, now we're mentally strong on top of it. Let's talk about it, bro. What you got? What's on your mind?
That's the best way to be. Yeah. I believe that if you see something or you feel some type of way, you got to address it. If you don't address it, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
And if you do address it, you got to recognize that there's two, ways to think about it. You got your story, and then you got your story.
Yeah. And sometimes people don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
Some people be like, man, I don't give a fuck. I'm not that guy. I'm the one which gotten us in a couple issues, and I'm got myself in a couple issues. I'm the guy, and I say this anywhere, dog. Yeah, I'm gonna be the one tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, what's up, man? Let me holler at you. I've always been that guy.
Yeah.
And I'm the live wire in the crew. Outside of everybody else being authentic and everybody being a stand-up dude, nah, bro, I'm going to go holler at you. And that's always been my position. So
does it bother you? Does it irk you? Is that why you have to do it?
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Having slick niggas talk shit. And I say, and I hope, and I didn't mean to say the N-word, but there's a lot of slick talk. And to be mentally strong and move on from those situations is what we've learned now.
Okay.
But then I was jumping out the window on anything.
So what switched it? Because his knowledge is off.
I realized
you went from being Paul, cool ass, short tempered dude, to now like, all right, let's talk about it. What made that switch?
That people die, people go to jail, and it was really not that serious.
But it is when you're 17, 18, 19. That's the world, yo.
Yes. And we learned that if it's not going to kill me that moment, I don't have to fight for it. every time.
Correct.
Because then subliminals and artists and people that we know, songs, man, we crazy in the hood. Nah, niggas ain't shit. Like, whatever the rhyme is. Wait, were they talking about us? You know, it's like, and then they be like, nah, man, you overthinking it. Nah, they talking about us. Yo, rewind that.
Ooh.
Because I've always been defensive. And my upbringing and in my situation, I didn't trust nobody except my brothers. Because when I cried, they cried. When I got into shit, they got into shit. When I got locked up, they got locked up. When we had a fight, they got a fight. So if you didn't experience what I experienced, then you can't tell me I'm wrong. So if somebody come and slick out the mouth, I'm going to go holler at this guy real quick. I'll be right back.
So you learn from pain, experiences, and seeing other situations turn or escalate to a point where you don't want to go anymore.
Right. And success is a lot better than fighting. Success is a lot better than proving you wrong. I'm not going to prove you wrong. You're taking my energy. You know, you come mentally equipped with, you're taking my energy, and my energy is to be successful and be a dad and be a good friend and be more successful. So I don't care anymore if you're mad at me.
The ego you push the ego to the side.
And that happened years ago. That wasn't recently. Like, one of our first wins in Crazy Hood was Garcia doing a UPN commercial. You know?
Okay.
Like, is that a big deal? Maybe not for you or your crew, because I ain't do it. But us being mixtape kids and just doing our shit and being written up in this little Kendall Gazette article in the newspaper or whatever it is. And
yeah, any type of recognition you'll accept.
Yo, you want to do a UPN commercial? What? We in. Garcia killed that shit. We still got that on replay now at the crib. Just being.
But that was Garcia rapping.
Right.
I wasn't producing.
No, that's when he was a full-fledged artist.
Yeah.
So it was more like, you know, every win is important because we're not supposed to be in this game. We're not supposed to be here in the hood. So that was a plus. And then we had a song, Hector had a song called Spanish Fly with our homegirl Stats Cordero out of Harlem. That song got in rotation in a competition that got played, you know, top 150 in the nation on, I forget it, years ago. But we took that win. And then, you know, and then it starts going. Fayn got awarded Mixtape King from Justo's Mixtape from New York, you know, 2002. We'll take that win, too. And then, we got an article in the Source magazine, kids from Kendall. So all that Kendall. Yeah, we was in the Source magazine, bro, like 5 times, you know, and articles written up about us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we take all of that shit. So it was like we wear that as a badge, and we continue to further. Because if we can get this far, imagine we keep going. What else can we do? And
I don't think there's none. You guys can't.
No, I meant this was 30, 20 years ago.
I'm talking about now.
Now it's endless.
I appreciate it in the fact that because of that brotherhood, people are starting to see that you could do it with other people. Because in Miami, the way I grew up, like you said, it was always like hating. Like, Garcia, that guy's from Kendall. I'm like, so there's a fuck.
You don't like Garcia?
No, I love Garcia.
Oh.
But people would say, Garcia, that guy from Kendall. I'm like, so what if he's from Kendall? I was the kid that was listening to Nas freshman year, and I'll be like, yo, listen to this. And they'll be like, man, you want to be New Yorkin. I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, listen to Cool G rap. Who the hell is Cool G rap? I'm like, what? And I was like lost. I was like, yo, these people don't listen to good music. They were listening to 69 Boys. They were listening
Which is also good music.
It is, but in the point of like lyrics and then like for instance, I didn't really when I was a kid, I never had guidance, right?
Right.
But I would listen.
Where are you from?
I'm from the beach. I'm Colombian. I was born in Medellin, but I came here at 5, 6 years old.
Okay.
And I always was kind of like yourself, like a loner in the sense that I was like, damn, I don't want to be here. And I would listen to music. And then I got lucky that my uncle had a friend that would listen to like Tribe.
Dope.
Would listen to Leaders of New School,
Dope.
Freestyle Fellowship. And he would have all these CDs, not CDs at the time, cassettes. And I would listen to all this and I'm like, damn, this is fire. So then when I got older, I would try to present this to people. And that's exactly my point, what I'm talking about. They're like, man, that's New York shit. I'm like, what? Because I never grew up in that type of way.
And their experience with the New York rap or New York people was probably different than what we were experiencing. So their defense mechanism was, fuck all of that.
Exactly. And I couldn't understand it because I'm like, what do you mean you don't like this? Like, this is...
Yeah, this is it.
You don't like the Lost Boys? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, I used to look at people and be like, yo, you serious? And they're like, man, that's that New York shit.
Maybe
like,
we would have met earlier, you know.
I always hung out in Kendall, but that's because I played soccer. And I played with a couple of people from Sunset. Mark, Jamaican soccer player, and all of them. And I used to go to the party. That's how I ended up going to a craze party in like some farm or barn somewhere.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, this is nuts. And that's when I
Shout out
heard
to
the Crazy
Craze.
Hood thing.
Oh, dope.
So I was like thinking to myself, like, Crazy Hood. I'm looking around. I'm like, yo, this is like the suburbs. Like, what do they mean, Crazy Hood?
Right.
So my whole like
See,
teenage years,
we would catch people like you with the bait, and then we would try to fish y'all in on the mixtapes. So now you can hear what we can do on the mixtapes.
I did. I used to have a couple mixtapes.
Oh,
I
yeah?
wish I
You
still
found
had them.
mixtapes?
Yeah, but I dubbed them. Like somebody had
Man,
them, and I'll be like,
you
damn.
dubbed them shit,
and
dog?
then I didn't
No,
have.
we love the fact that people dubbed it anyway.
I didn't have Connect
because that was hip hop.
I didn't have the plug. I just had somebody. I'll be like, yo, we were all like, we would go to a tournament in Tampa, and somebody will be listening to it, and I'll be like, yo, this is a mixtape. Like, let me get it. And he's like, all right. So then we had the boombox thing. We do the dub thing.
That's
and
hard.
Then I'll take it.
That's hard. We appreciate that because
And I didn't have bread.
no, and since we didn't have any bread, our budget was limited to 100 copies. Maybe 500,
Correct,
maybe
correct.
500 copies.
Correct.
So yeah, we ain't gonna be able to get it out to everybody.
Correct.
So hearing that means it was circulating and it worked.
It worked in
And
the
it worked.
sense that you guys kept that unit.
Yeah.
And that's why to this day I tell people like, man, they set an example. People
Yeah.
should do that. I have a lot of artist friends, we know the same people. And I'm always telling them like, yo, why don't you do this collab? Why don't you do this? And they're like, nah, you know how people are. I'm like, no, I don't.
No, you know what I call that?
What?
I call that mental weakness.
Okay.
And I'm not specifically saying it to anybody. I'm just saying it to everybody. Because a couple years ago, I created an event called Miami Meets Miami.
Yes.
Where this is where...
But that was invite only.
True.
I try to go.
True. So this is where... you go back to that question you asked a little while ago. Did you ever do anything on your own? It's still under the CHP umbrella, still under the CHP mother hub.
But it's your own thing.
So
Miami Meets
when
Miami.
Miami Meets Miami came about, to go back 10 seconds on how that came to be, I was invited through Javi Day, who is a remarkable artist.
Nicaragua in the house.
Him and his whole 47 Republic crew, official. And Javi, I met through Curly J. So when Curly J first told me about Javi Day, we connected. And then he invited me to a listening event, and I went by myself, into a room of 40 people. Dolo.
Young kids.
So I walked in there, and I'm like, all right,
You're
what's
the
up?
old head.
Right? So I did that. And then a week or two apart, Shotty, shout out to Shotty, Father Day Records and Rich, and all of them doing their thing.
Mowgli.
Shotty invited me to a listening event.
Yes.
So I went in there, and I said, wait a second. And in the Javi Day listening, I said, yo, y'all know such and such, and y'all know such and such. Yo, this artist? Nah. You know this artist? This artist? Nah. You know these people?
So
nah.
it clicked. You're like, I'm gonna
So
put
I
them
was like, you
together.
don't know these people? All right, then I went to Shotty's event, and I was like, yo, you heard of this dude named Javi? Nah, you heard of this dude? You heard? No. I was like, damn, a lot of people don't know each other, bro. And I said, you know what? We're going to start doing some Miami Meets Miami shit. And then it was a second Shotty event, and I brought my guns with me. I brought Curly J.
Yeah.
I brought my son Carlos with a K, who's an artist.
Okay.
And I brought Javi Day. So I brought 3 young wolves with me. And when we went into the Shotty event, I introduced him. I said, yo, this is Curly J, this is Javi, this is my son Carlos with a K, that he knew his own shit. So then it was like, what's up? And I was like, yo, Miami Meets Miami. It's time we all get together, yo. So long story short, at the end of that year, I think it was 2023, I said, yo, I said, let's do a quick, get together. You know what I'm saying? Bring some people together and just play some music. So we did a test run, and we brought some people over, and we kept it exclusive where it wasn't too many people on purpose. And then that ended up saying, nah, let's see if we could push this.
So do you think the whole...
So I say that to say, the reason it was exclusive was the idea of it was to bring people that are active and building a following and building
energy.
a brand.
With good
Correct.
energy.
So my responsibility, being the guy, because EFM backed me up on that, was let me reach out to people that I know and that I don't know, but that I see that are actually putting in work. So nobody was really like picking a hat. Everybody was handpicked. Like I was, for a couple weeks, months, I was going through a lot of people's stuff, seeing they're consistent. See if they were consistent with posts, if they were dropping singles, if they were busy, if they were being them, and then I reach out, and I reached out, And out of the 440 people that showed up that year, I only got 2 no's. So that proved to me that people wanted that conversation. People wanted that connection.
And where's the Miami meets Miami now? What's going on?
Oh, it's brewing. It's brewing.
It's brewing?
There's so much. I got it. I don't know when this is going to drop, but
2 weeks.
I got Miami meets Miami this year for 2026. Exclusive breaking news. I have a collaboration with these people called Masters of the Road.
Yeah.
And they have a tour going on starting in Philly called Karma Tour 2. And in the Miami segment, you know, Miami meets Miami is part of the sponsorship. So they're bringing artists to perform, and we're there sponsoring it, so we're there. As far as the actual sessions that we did, that's still coming together because I got so busy, and this year I couldn't really put the emphasis on it.
Got it.
But I said that back to what you said. It wasn't that the mental weakness is people want to put in the work or people want to be recognized. And if you're not recognized and you're not getting patted on the back like a dope-ass MC, they don't want to take it that step further and say, let's work. Some people feel like you're kissing their ass or that you're showing weakness.
Why don't we do this? Because I could hear this. You know what I mean?
Okay.
From being around a lot of artists in Miami, a lot of people like what they hear, but they don't give it props.
Correct.
And I think that's what's wrong.
They don't give the artistic creative, the creative artistic.
Or just if you flip the script and say, for instance, you do some bachata hip hop,
Right.
people will hate on that shit. Instead of being like, yo, man, I like that. Why don't we work together and kind of like take that energy and make it something dope?
Okay.
They don't go that extra step. And
Okay.
I say that from knowing a lot of artists. And there's been a lot of conversations where I'm like, yo, why don't you holler at this guy and make something together? Nah, fuck that shit. I'm like, bro.
Check this out. I turned my phone off for the interview, but I'm going to turn it on real quick. You led me right to something that I wanted to speak on.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm trying to get at because
I wanted to speak
Artist
on.
Fellowship to me is one of the most illest
And you're
things
gonna
that
love
anybody
it.
could do because if you're making a hit, I'm making a hit, or if it's not even a hit, if you have this energy, I have this energy, we put this energy together, it flows. I think that is one of the main glues of Crazy Hood.
Yes. And
I said it earlier.
And what I've taken from that, what I've taken from there and what my mentorship and manager skills, that let's just put on a record. I'm not a manager. I've never been. I've been more an artist.
But you'll never let anything happen to your friend.
I've been more an artist as an artist MC, rapping MC with the All Group and Crazy Hood, and I've been a soldier, and I've been even called the capo and the lieutenant to EFN second, like all of that. Like, we soldiered down, right? But when Curly J and Fayn on their own perspective said, yo, let me ask you a question, would you be interested in managing? You know, I'm a super transparent person also, so sometimes shit I say burns me, but I don't give a fuck.
Where'd you get that attribute from?
Knowing that nobody can take away what I put in, and nobody can take away my own flaws or progression except myself.
Knowledge of self.
Right.
Message.
Knowledge of self. So I asked Curly J to do me a favor. And I want to say, outside of all the people in Miami, and I'm going to say this super bold, I hope all of y'all listening.
All right.
Curly J is the one to watch out for.
Okay.
Some people don't want to hear his vibe. Some people don't like his music. Some people just have that opinion and preference. And for whatever reason, I'm not saying nobody else ain't dope. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is Curly J got a fucking great network vibe, and he's working hard daily. So I said, do me a favor, bro. I'm going to do this interview with Gene. Send me all your artists that you've worked with in the last year, so we can kill this Miami meets Miami non-communication crabs in a barrel vibe where nobody works with nobody. Nah, I'm going to shout out every artist right now.
Oh, all right, let's go. Oh, yo.
I'm going to shout out every artist.
Let
I'm
me
going to
get
shout out
comfortable.
every artist that Curly J has not only done the song with, because some
But
people
has
do,
reached
some
out
people
and
have do
worked
the
with.
song and then they're busy with their schedule.
Yeah.
So life goes on. But he's worked with the song. He's promoted his song. He's tagged these artists. He promoted their song probably before they promoted this song. So before it gets misconstrued, because people always want to say, you know, he's trying to be an opportunist or he's doing too much. per se. He's working. So he's bringing Miami on this culture. Because if we invite this list of people to Curly J's listening event, we got a crowd.
You got everybody in Miami.
And respectfully, it's not the same people you see in every event.
So these are the underground.
You understand
so
what I'm saying?
Digging.
So he's working. So right off bat, shout out to Curly J.
Yes, sir.
He's working. He has promoted, worked, released work under Dream Big management. He's released with artists going as Low Key from Cam Davis Studios, Da Vinci, rest in peace, Mind Labs, Young Slick P, Frankie LaFlame, Purple Genesis, 24 Loud, One Young Kid, Ulysses Beats, Gold, Smiles Official, Illmat 305, Dre Peso, Dr. J, Peso Bill, AJG, KMH Absolute, Matic, Melody, Jimmy Hart, Javi Dade, El Trap Baby, Sam Rivers, Craze, Espo Music, Black, Eric P, Prince Mac, Bankroll Cash, Young DJ, Jordan Donaldson, Jay Good, Nick Garcia, like
it goes on.
And I wanted
that's in 1 year?
This is in the last year, that song that he's recorded and released.
Wow.
These aren't songs that we keeping on deck for any reason.
So what I'm saying is an issue in Miami. He's like chopping that tree down.
He's chopping that tree down because even those that we haven't got to, we're gonna get to. And does he need all these features? Hell no. He could drop a,
he likes
he could drop a
collaborating.
song. The network is real. He took a lot of information from Miami Meets Miami in that 1 year we did it, where we had 440 plus people. A lot of them artists, mostly artists, and the way we highlighted that ended up being somewhat like an artist showcase because people would think, yo, I'm going to go perform. It wasn't really meant for that performance value. EFN wanted to have the networking of the industry with the local community come together. So we had professors, we had lawyers, we had comedians.
Apollo Lofton.
We had Apollo Lofton. We had DJ CeeLo as the DJ. So while we had so many people come in on a contrast of creatives, you know, Curly J was present because he was just coming under my wing and my mentorship, and I was like, "Yo, Jake, chill out right there, bro. You ain't
sponge,
it yet right now.
in.
But I want you to meet the people. I want you to meet people." And he doesn't have to do that. He could have just said, "Nah, man, I want to get in," but he took it on the chin. He was a soldier. He stood there. He met everybody, shook everybody's hand, and then when it was time to say, "All right, let's start recording some shit," he started recording on his own. Got the own budget, pushing it. Connected with all these people on his own, made the song, made the track. We released it. We're dropping EPs, 5 songs at a time for the last 3 months, plus everything else that he's done. So all that to say, salute to my young brother. You know, he's putting in the work.
After you said that, I'm gonna have to put Curly up on the list.
Yeah.
Right after you, man.
He's putting in the work.
This is worth it, man, because you're putting out that energy.
And the people that do have features. Because a lot of people might say, man, you just named 30 people we don't know and we don't care about. That's the problem.
That is the solution. See, that's what...
No, the problem is that the recognition isn't there. Nobody cares. But I vouch for Curly J. That's why I'm his manager and his OG. And as a young blood, he's reaching out to other people and he's dropping music. Like, if people want to hear what he got to say, it ain't going to be Nas. It ain't going to be Trick Daddy. But he's from Ghouls,
but
and he's dropping
the good
shit.
Part.
Exactly. So salute to my young dude.
Salute. Yo. That's what I'm saying. Like, when people say, "Oh, he's not like him," I was like, "That's what I like." I like to I give Shoddy and Money Mowgli their props because I'm like, "Yo, you guys are on another trajectory. Like, you guys aren't trying to do this. You guys are over there." And I even asked Shoddy when he was here. I was like, "Yo, what made you?" He's like, "Man, that braggadocious thing wasn't really working, so I'm gonna do something that I like."
And he's matured.
He's matured, like. You know, with time, you learn.
Yeah.
Knowledge yourself, you adjust.
Because Fayn is mature, and Fayn has motion, and Fayn has a move, but he raps not like Curly J.
At all.
So when people were like, why you managing, bro? I didn't know you was a manager. I was like, yeah, I'm not. But you know what? Not being active as an artist, not being active as the all-member artist, you know, being a different hat in Crazy Hood and Drink Champs and Sports Champs, and then I created my own situation with Dream Big Management. With all of that, I'm not an artist. But you know what I have now? I got one gun named Fayn that could shoot lyrics and do his shit. Then I got another gun from the South that could be Curly J, and there's 2 different artists. And then I'm prepping a 00 barrel, and I say 00 because this is a young dude named 00 that's
coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, nobody's heard of him. Nobody, bro.
Where's he from?
He's from Miami Gardens.
Okay.
And I think he got via Miami Beach. But he's a young dude, so his name is 00. So since I got 2 guns, he's my 00 barrel. And then I might be pulling a shotty out. You know what I'm saying? So we working, bro.
So how'd you get to this mindset of managing and organizing and orchestrating the movement that is starting to become the hip-hop of Miami? Because I know EFN has always been that. And now you're coming with that left hook. You know what I mean?
I honestly can say, and this is the beauty of it, it came to me.
Okay.
Like I said, I've never been a manager. I've been a rapper. Me and Hector go in and write rhymes for days.
Yeah.
And then when I stopped being that, then Drink Champs took off. So salute to my Drink Champs family and my Drink Champs crew. We made 10 years last month. So that's been a blessing to even be on that spectrum of hip hop where we're leading the culture on conversation and
no, the podcast hip hop world, that's Drink Champ.
So being in that world where conversations are different, I'm not an artist there. You know, I'm staff but crew at the same time, because you got to be able to compartmentalize and make sure people know that we just ain't that crazy motherfuckers drinking and smoking all the time. We have a little bit of structure. So within that part,
yo, let me time out. What do you think about the Fat Joe and Jada thing?
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I love all of it, bro. It's all different creatives and a different sense of looking at things and a different conversation. It's like if somebody plays a beat, my rhyme is gonna be completely different than what your rhyme is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
So this conversation and this lane that they have created, Joe and Jada, is excellent. People have their criticism, but fuck it. Enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, but you're crazy. You're Drink Champs.
Yeah. And we
coming,
still that.
It's like saying like Heat Celtics type of thing.
Well, it's been documented, so what I'm about to say is not me talking extra. You know, Nori has mentioned it on other interviews and on our own platform. You know, if you think about it, and if you look at our history of what we've done, who are the 2 artists or guests that's been the most on Drink Champs?
Fat Joe and
Jada. So it just makes sense that somewhere along the line, somebody had a conversation and said, y'all 2 got to do it together, no matter who it was, even if it was Joe or whoever it was. So for them to come together and say, nah, let's do it. Yeah,
I was just curious because I'm like, man, they're just coming out of left and like they're already on Netflix and they're doing all this. And I'm like, hold up.
Well, different conversations. You know, conversation is everything. So I'm good for since Miami meets Miami.
What I like is that Nori lets the guest speak, you know?
Well, yeah.
Fat Joe does not let the guest speak.
Well, I mean, it's different material. It's different recipe for the win.
Way different.
You know, early on, a lot of people said Nori was interrupting people, you know, cutting people off, you know, and early on, a lot of people said EFN didn't talk much. So it's just a formula. You know, the evolution is limitless.
But there was no formula. That's why I was like.
And that's why we would call it the most professional, unprofessional podcast, you know, so.
I think you guys had it structured to be like, okay, we do this on the regular. I could see EFN and you guys just talking hip-hop all day.
It's true.
And then now put cameras and let's put real hip-hop artists.
Crazy Hood.
It was meant to be.
Crazy Hood is known, and I say this within our crew, just us 10, 11 know. We've been known to be the worst at documenting what we do. If our resume speaks for itself, if people want to see the accomplishments and shit that we've done.
Is that going to happen?
Never. But
no documentary?
No. I mean, we tried to do a documentary back then. That's still on the table, but you know, your friend has it work. But as far as what is known now as a lot of BTS and a lot of stuff in the archive, Crazy Hood Office every Wednesday for 10 years in Kendall in mid-90s to early 2000s. Like, there was so much going on, and we would go to every event all over. If there was just a camera or somebody filming, you know, we'd have so much material, and we just never did it. We lived the moment, and that was it. You know, we just never.
Yeah,
were
but
able
that
to
was
get
the
it.
90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
Nobody was really doing what everybody does now.
Right.
But imagine if there has to be some underground shit somewhere.
There's a lot of stuff. EFN is a great hoarder and holding stuff. Like he has a
Like
lot of flyers. He has a lot of pictures. You know, we did a lot of stuff. So he's been able to be real collector's item. He's a real museum type, you know, collector's item dude, and he holds a lot of stuff. And he's the best one for it. Like none of us have ever hold. Even if I have a flyer or a picture that I think is like super classic,
He
old
has
school,
2 of 'em.
he got 3 of them.
Yeah.
And the other angle. So it's like, dang, how you got that? But he's good at that, and we're blessed to have that because then all our memories.
Yeah, that
would
was
be,
the spark.
all our memories would be, yo, you lying. That ain't never happened. You wouldn't believe all the shit that we missed out.
All right, so from going from the kid that got into that scrap with the shirt all banged up to the man that's sitting here right here drinking the most expensive Pinot Grigio from Publix. What can you share with a fellow artist or a fellow human about knowledge of self?
Be honest with yourself. You're never gonna have the right answer. So that mystery of resolve, that mystery of success is the goal. You know, wake up every day and be happy. You know, in 2020, over 3 million people died because of COVID.
Wow.
You know, and we were all witnessing that. We saw that number rise. Millions of people passed away in COVID, and we still here. That means I don't care if you don't like me and mad at me. I made it. I survived. I was one of the ones that survived. A lot of people passed away. So why today, after that second chance, am I going to be upset with what somebody got to say or what you got to say?
So
We got to wake up every day and be, thank you, Lord, for waking me up today, because a lot of people don't wake up, and keep pushing. Whether you work a corporate job, whether you work a blue-collar job, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're hustling, and to the point where you say, I can get to the next level. Evolution is everything. Evolution is endless. Growth won't stop until we all pass away. So let's keep waking up every morning and hitting that pavement, bro. There's nothing that I can't take away from you for you to be successful, and vice versa. So let's keep moving, keep winning. And for every artist, be free. Don't limit yourself.
Don't compare.
Don't limit yourself. Be everything you want to be and more, because the big story is going to be all, you know?
Hell yeah. Damn, that was deep. Yeah, man. I agree with everything you said, man. And, like, I remember in COVID, I was like, damn, I can't go outside. But then in the back of my mind, I was like, people are dying. So I was like, it's okay if I can't go outside as long as I wake up. And then I was with that vibe, so I didn't get upset. I didn't get antsy. I didn't get anxiety or none of that shit. I was just chilling, man, like waiting for the law to get back.
So in my perspective from 2020 and on was health is first. Family is second. Then for those that have a spouse or kids, which is under family, and then money. You have to be able to take care of yourselves. If the currency goes left with the regime we're on, then we're back to trading fur and fucking wood type shit. But
which is not that bad.
But till then, your own health. Just like they say in the airplanes, everybody be ignoring that message. The first thing you got to do is put the mask on yourself.
And then you could help the next person.
So health is first,
Hell yeah.
family is
Message.
second, and then you got to have the money to do what you got to do.
Hell yeah.
So I said that to say, I'm not forcing anything. Since 2020, it's been 5 years, 6 years. I don't force the fact.
It was like yesterday, right?
I don't force the fact anymore.
No, you can't push it, man.
I don't force it. I don't pressure it. If I feel like I'm being pressured, let me take a moment to myself. Let me just relax. You know, Lord, what is it? All right, let me get that breathe, that breath.
Where'd you get that attribute?
Because we didn't create ourselves. Our parents had sex and made us, but what made that? You know what I'm saying? So whether
they gave the spark and you were the flame.
So whether it's science or anything, you know, there has to be a higher being. I believe in that. My faith is strong in that. So if the moment came where millions of people died over a diagnosed disease that was either orchestrated or not, I'm not here to decipher that. That's not my play.
We got to play the hand that was dealt.
So my hand that was dealt was, let me wake up every morning and go for it. In 24 hours, we all got the same 24 hours. That message is super dope for me. We all got the same 24 hours.
What are you going to do with it?
Whether you sleep late or wake up early, it's still 24 hours documented. Correct. So let's move. And then in my situation, when Curly J saw my guidance and conversation to him as a positive, he was the first one to say, yo, would you be interested in managing me? Nah, bro, I'm not a manager. But what about, just if I have a question, like he respectfully, which a lot of people don't do, humble himself and said, yo, I'm looking for like an OG, looking for a mentor. And we already had a relationship as far as friends, even though he's younger than me, because we both worked together in a restaurant, because I'm a chef at heart too. So when I saw the work ethic at a restaurant, if you work as hard as I work, I respect that we could have a conversation. If you're one of those slacker dudes, nah, I can't give you the time of day.
All right, but let me ask you a question that might take us to a different realm, and
go.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
Let's go.
In no way, because I respect you, I respect Crazy, I respect everybody. You guys have put Miami on the map, and I know that for a fact. Do you think the fact that you're connected to Crazy Hood is the reason why a lot of people want you to manage them? Or do you honestly believe that your presence as a person is the reason?
Both. They both go hand in hand.
Okay.
Because without Crazy Hood, I wouldn't be who I am now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And Crazy Hood ain't Crazy Hood without me.
Correct. Okay.
And,
nice.
And Crazy Hood ain't Crazy Hood without Garcia. And Crazy Hood ain't Crazy Hood without Heckler. And Crazy Hood ain't Crazy Hood without
like
EFN.
Voltron.
And we all go
you
down.
Can't be
and we
the
all
fucking,
go down the line. Crazy
it.
Hood ain't Crazy Hood without Drain. So Crazy Hood can't be what it is without all our elements underneath it. So
you're a stem of the source.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So at this point, if somebody, since I've been more vocal and more open to conversation for the last couple of years, I might be the easiest to talk to. Because I am the one to shake your hand and say, what's up, bro? What's going on? Not saying that my brothers don't. It's just that I'm probably more accessible at the moment. But since I am more accessible at the moment, everybody else is lucky.
And I feel comfortable asking.
Because now we can have a conversation. Because I say, hey, let's talk. What's up? What's going on?
I think that's by design, though.
Yeah, it could be by design. It could be by design because I was always the one that
we're the one, like, all right, let me
I
step.
was the first one.
Because you're the first one to check someone.
Yeah, so
if you could check them and you be like, yo, he's all right, then it's all right.
And if you ask them, I ain't like nobody, dog. And that was a given. Nah, yo, what's up with this guy? Yo, who brought this guy in?
Yeah.
And then hey, what's up, bro? Hey, how you got here, man? Who you know? Those are the type of shit that I say. Yeah. Hey, how you got here, bro? Who you know? And then he'd be like, what do you mean? EFN.
You know this guy?
You brought him in? And vice versa. Because then he'd be like, yo, Paul, you extra, bro. You too much. Nah, man, I'm just
protecting the source.
Securing our energy.
Protecting the energy.
Likewise. So with back to just to finish off with Curly, then when I said, listen, bro, I'm at the age where I can't waste too much time. And I had the same exact conversation with Fayn 4 months after I said yes to Curly.
Yeah.
When Fayn brought it up to me, I said, let me tell you something, bro. I'm at the age where I don't have time to go outside like that. But I have to take advantage of y'all youth. Because if y'all don't want to be rappers no more, or shit happens in y'all personal lives or career, then I did a lot of work for nothing. So if y'all down to listen to what I say and y'all down to hear me out, just because the respect is there and y'all feel like I am saying some shit, then I'm in. I'm in 100%. But if I'm in 100%, y'all got to be in 100%. And both of them said yes. Both of them have been locked in. And respectfully, the relationship is dope. Fayn is making monster music and a lot of moves. And Curly J is on a momentum that when we all collectively hear his body of work, people going to be like, damn, we slipped. And for those that are actually paying attention, they're showing him love and they're giving him props.
Yes.
So for me, it's working. Let's get it.
When are we gonna have Miami meets Miami again?
Sooner than later.
Nice.
Sooner than later. A lot sooner than later. I've reached out. actually to about 4 or 5 people already, and just let them know that it's boiling, and I want to let them know that I'm reaching out to them first. And you know, when the time comes, I appreciate, you know, your time, because I also said that with the 440 plus people we had in Miami Meets Miami, I told every single one of them, I appreciate your time and communication. You ain't got to come, and most importantly, when you do come alone or bring a +1,
so you could network.
Never.
Come with your little crew and just
never. And for Miami Meets Miami, bro, there's a lot of people that showed up.
Yeah.
That, let me tell you something. This is me being personal. This is me being humble.
This is you being Pinot Grigio.
Yeah, Drain called me Paulo Grigio, and EFN called me P. No Grigio. This is me being humble. With Miami Meets Miami, out of the 440 people that showed up that year, 5 communicate with me still.
Wow. So take us there. What's that?
I don't know, but I still show all of them love.
When you say communicate, you mean like
that means
like
share
social
their,
media,
show their music, share their music with me. Tag me in some of their releases.
Consider you in the.
And I see collaborations. People that didn't know each other, I see them working together. Yo, that's dope. I fist pump everybody's comment.
And it was
Good
because
shit.
of the Miami Meets
Of
Miami.
course. And everybody even says it. It's not that I'm
How
saying
does
it
that
extra.
make you feel?
I feel like there's more work to be done.
Damn, Paul.
I feel
Holy
like there's more
shit,
work to
dog.
be done. Because out of 440 people,
You're definitely Colombian.
Out of 440 people, only 5 still tag me and
That's
share
a
this
good
shit.
number, dude.
And the other 438 people, they're still.
Yeah, but think about it. Say you have 200 people always reaching out to you.
Yeah.
Out of those 200, how many would you really like entertain?
All of them, bro. Because that's how I did for all of them.
Nice.
In 440.
Okay, I try to.
No. I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm a stand-up dude everywhere.
That's an awesome
respectfully.
answer.
So, do I want them all to hit me up? No, because they're all the individual people.
But you'll
just
entertain the question or whatever if it does come.
But when I had an open invite and explained to them what the situation and come into a platform and come here and check it out, they all took advantage of it. I got to go there and show my content. Yeah. I got to show them and show them what I could do. And then when they moved on, all right, that's dope. Because on the Miami Meets Miami account, I still follow all of them.
So you know what's up.
Yeah, so it's like, that's dope. All right, people have grown, people have done shit, people collaborate, this shit is dope. And then you realize after 2 years, you know, the filtering, okay, damn, only these 4 or 5 motherfuckers still fuck with me. Now when we resurface,
what's one of them that surprised you out of those 5 that you're like, damn?
Oh, that's a good question. But just to say, when we resurface, I know who I'm reaching out to on some extra love shit.
Of course.
On some extra access.
Of course.
But I want to give a shout out to Liddy Willie and his Liddy production show. I want to give a shout out to Jeff Stones and his situation and his homeboy Marco Lenz. I hope I said that right.
Yeah, Liddy's a barber, right?
No.
The Liddy show?
But the Liddy show is at a barbershop.
But he's not a barber.
Correct.
Okay.
But they're working, and shout out to my man Winnick, who has the comedy show event at Le Coup in Little Haiti, where Jeff Stones is performing, and Willie Show is doing their they do their live feed, you know, there. They record there. So they've been keeping consistent and on point. And then there's a lot of people that have been consistent, but it's just, you know, seeing the interaction.
Nice.
But I'm not mad at none of them. I'm just impressed with those that after a couple of years still show that love to me. You know, I had Excess get on with Commando. I think his name is, damn, I hope I didn't say it wrong. And Heron, like they did their thing, you know, and had B Dope there and Nick Garcia there, and like, I mean, I could go on. It's 440.
Yeah, there was a
people.
lot. Like I said,
Yeah.
I was thinking like, damn, I want to go to that, but let me get the invite. But it didn't come.
That was, and a lot of people did hit me up, and I was like, yo, I got y'all. And
a couple of my friends that were like, yo, just come with me. I was like, nah, I want to go when it's an invite. I don't just want to pop up.
Yeah, smart, because since I'm been that guy.
You're like, yo, no, it's only.
Yo, do me a favor, you can wait outside.
Yeah.
You know, Because then why do that?
Because we think alike.
No, but I mean, yes. But why would I have to do that? Because then I told the guy, yo, I told you +1, though. Why you pushing it, man?
And that was the conversation. Like, come on, man, just come. I was like, nah, I'm not going to go, man. I want to get the invite. That way I'm there representing.
You make me look like the bad guy, dog. I told you.
No, man, it's respect, man. It's respect, man.
But it worked out. It was dope. You know, EFN was there, full support. You know, Monster Music was there in full support. Shout out to DJ CeeLo. We ended up making him like the house DJ.
Nice.
You know, the first 2-3 sessions was me on the Bluetooth, just filling it up. And then we actually had a DJ there. So that was super dope. You know, and it was dope. It was dope overall.
Hell yeah, man. So, yo, we're getting to the end of the interview. You know, we're going to ask a few questions. There is no wrong or right, man. Just say what you feel, and then we'll talk about whatever it is we have to talk about.
Okay.
So the movie Bronx Tale.
Dope
Yes,
movie.
he asked Sonny, you rather be loved or feared? What do you guys say about that? You rather be loved or feared? No wrong or right.
I could say love.
Why is that?
Love. Because I'm not gonna acknowledge your fear. I'm gonna make sure that that's not what you sense from me. It's not the energy that I'm giving.
You'll address it, but you're not gonna.
Right. And I'm a movie buff, so I love that shit.
All right, you rather create from scratch or compare and then create from what you saw?
Oh shit. I'd rather compare and create.
Oh wow. Okay, why is that?
Because my mind is sporadic. So one idea turns into 30 ideas, and it takes me longer time to bring it to a core. So inspiration and being motivated by others
Sets you ahead of time.
allows me to not plagiarize your shit, but allows me to, you know, narrow my wide thoughts to here and then build on that.
Spawn from
Check it, and now I could go on to the next thought.
All right. Knowing or understanding?
Knowing.
Why is that?
Knowledge of self. Your understanding and my understanding can be completely different. So I have to know who you are as a person, your thought process. What do you see? How do you see it? Why do you see it that way? Why you interpret it that way? Why you bring it in to have your understanding of it? Because I'm gonna see red if you see blue. So if I know, then no one is have the battle.
What if I told you that red is not red and blue is not blue?
I believe that. I was like, cool.
Because it's just a word. Doesn't necessarily mean that's what it is.
Right.
All right. Wealth or riches?
Wealth.
Why is that?
Because I have kids.
Bang. Perception or reality?
Oof. It's a good one. Reality.
Why is that?
Because perception, once again, is just a figment of imagination.
So you have a dream, right?
Yes.
Is that a real dream?
Well, the goal to have a dream is my reality.
Damn, say it again.
The goal to have a dream is my reality.
Message. Damn, that was deep, Paul. Yo, that shit works. That Pinot Grigio works, yo.
Smooth, right?
Joy or happiness?
Ain't they both the same?
No, man. When you have joy, like you go out to a club, you're having joy. But then when you wake up the next day in the morning, you ain't happy. You feeling like shit. But
joy or happiness?
When you see your family at an older age and you see everybody good, and
okay, happiness. But with the why, like the Will Smith movie.
Power of choice. You think that's a true thing?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because everything's a choice.
Everything's a choice.
Everything.
All right.
Every single thing.
So with the power of choice, you think there's such thing called good problems?
Yes.
What's a good problem?
Having a lot of kids.
Dang. Making a lot of kids.
No, making a lot of kids is not the problem. Having a lot of kids is a good problem.
Word.
A lot of opportunities is a good problem. You know, a lot of.
What's a good problem that you've had lately that you're like, damn, that's fuck?
That's a great question, bro. A lot of good problems that I had lately is part of my organizational skill set with compartmentalizing my dreams.
Oh, okay.
So I have Crazy Hood. I have Drink Champs. I have Line Lingo, which is my chef podcast venture. I have Miami Meets Miami. I have Dream Big Management, which means I have Curly J, I have Fayn, I got Double O. I'm also
You got double hand problems.
I'm also stepping into the entrepreneur world, so ownership is a good problem, and franchise operator is a good problem. So I have student athletes that are going to college and playing ball, and I have adult kids that also are embracing their adulthood and their independency. So all that to me is good problems, bro.
That sounds amazing, brother. Yo, nothing but energy, good energy towards all that. Okay, emotional intelligence. What does that bring to mind when I say emotional intelligence?
That's challenging. That's challenging. You want me to break it down again?
Yes, because you break it down everything amazing.
Emotional intelligence, I learned a couple years ago to break down the word emotion.
Okay, break it down.
So the word emotion is E equals motion.
Okay.
E is your energy. So your energy and your motion is how you react. So if something happens to you, you know, your reaction, how do you react to that? Whether it's positive
what
or
energy
negative.
are you putting towards that
Right.
emotion?
So if something negative happens, is your negative energy is, or something happens positive. So if you can't control your energy, then you're emotional. So control your energy on your emotion, not emotion. Control your energy on motion. So emotional intelligence, yeah, I'm good with that.
Did you study this, dog? You studied this?
Nah, I've been reading. I told you I got back to my reading.
Reading is very important. Yo, message to everybody. Read.
I got back to my reading. EFN asked me a good question one day. Since I'm weird thoughts and, you know, I'm real radical with my actions sometimes, and I'm real boisterous, and at times I could be a little fucking pushy and arrogant, you know, and then when I get to the hard liquor, you know, I get super wild, and, you know, I've been able to control of that. But then one time I get silly, you know, as a human being, you get silly, you let your hair down, you chill.
Yeah.
So when I'm with my brothers, you know, it's like, yo, Paul, you crazy as fuck, da, da, da. But then I started back to reading. And your friend asked me one day, he said, why do you read so much, bro? What do you get out of reading? To me, it's a visual picture.
Hell yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
So I read it, and it's like a movie. People go to movies all the time.
The good thing about that is that you set your character's look.
Right.
Whenever I read something, it was like, oh, he was the king of whatever, Grayskull. And then automatically I thought a picture of a king in Grayskull, and that was my king of Grayskull.
Right. So when I'm reading an autobiography, whether it's 50 Cent, Fat Joe, whether it's Richard, what's his name? Damn. I forget his name. My bad. Whoever it is, because I'm mostly on the autobiography, whatever.
Did you read the Kobe one?
I haven't read the Kobe
I'm
one.
going to give you the Kobe one. I have it.
I have I've read the Nipsey Hussle. I read the Jay Dilla, and so far and so on. Like I've read a bunch of other shit. It's more on the visual I see from that story, their trials, the tribulations, their wins, and all of that. So,
hell yeah, yeah, man. You're like me. I love to read because of that simple reason. Like when I read, I make my own little imaginational world over here, and then I see what I see, and I learn from that, and it's always helped me.
Yep.
All right, pain versus suffering.
Pain.
What is that?
You gotta learn to love the pain to grow. You know, suffering just means you're mentally stuck and you're in purgatory.
Yeah, it's a choice. That's what we always say. It's like, yo, man, if you're suffering, it's because you're choosing to suffer.
Yeah, bro.
Because you can just snap out of that
wait
shit.
till my book comes out. And it's funny because they're like, what am I gonna write about, right? But when my book comes out, the name of my book is I Lied.
Man, from what you're saying right now, I'll read that shit. That shit will be dope.
Dope.
Logic or intuition?
Intuition.
What is that?
Because I'm a real logical person. But that second...
the source says, hey.
Yeah, that gut feeling, like they say, the hair is behind your ears, your hand, arm, like that notion of the spirit or just that second guess or that thought
the connection
of
to the source.
Nah, the intuition, bro.
All right. Discipline or self-respect?
Discipline.
What is that?
Because it is self-respect.
You need to have discipline to have self-respect. All right. Self-mastery versus personal power. Self-mastery is more internal. Personal power is external.
Okay. With that being said, Personal power. I'm not strong enough to have the inner power yet. I'm still at my age. I'm still getting.
Wow, that's interesting.
I'm
Because
still,
everything you've been saying is internal power.
and I still feel that I got so much to do.
That tells me you're humble.
There's still something I got to do. So the personal power allows me to do it.
Okay. You like listening to people's dreams or people's real stories?
Real stories.
Why is that?
Go back to the books, the autobiographies, their ups and downs, what they actually went through. So once we get past the reality, then we
of their life,
then we can build on the dreams.
Okay. You think we are all renowned individuals or insignificant?
No, we're all renowned. Every single one of us.
Even billions of years past?
Everybody.
Okay, because I asked this to everybody. What's your great-great-great-grandfather's name?
I don't know.
Exactly.
But he was somebody. That's why I'm here.
Exactly. So that is the knowledge of self that I'm like staticky on.
So I'm the youngest of 5. I mentioned that earlier. My family tree is okay. So check it. My dad, he's the youngest of 12.
Okay. Whoa, they didn't have cable.
I only know my dad.
Out of all the 12,
I don't know nothing else.
wow.
I don't have no uncles. I don't have no aunts. I don't have no grandparents. Nothing. My dad. It's the cap. For my mom's, she was the oldest of 6 in a blended family. I know 1 aunt and 1 uncle. That's it. I don't know no grandparents. I don't know nobody else past that. Now, one of her aunts is one of her aunts had 5 kids.
Okay.
From those 5 kids, I have 400 cousins.
Yo,
You feel
okay,
me?
that's a little bit too much.
It's like one had 14 and the other one had 14, and then when they had kids, they had 14 and they had 13, like 9 kids here and there. So with
So you still think we're all renowned?
yeah, everybody has,
Even though you don't know that part of the family or not?
absolutely, because our lives were taken.
I think differently, man. I think the fact that I don't even know who my great-great-grandfather was. I know he was Colombian, but I believe that if I knew his story or a story, his story might alter or shift my reality, which will alter my life.
Maybe, but
at the end of the day, none
like
of that really matters.
sometimes my mom said, "Hey, it's your grandfather's birthday." You know, he passed away, right? But he's like, "It's your grandfather's birthday," and I was like, "Cool," and I let it go.
Okay.
And then my mom said, "Hey, today is the day your grandfather passed away," and I go,
okay,
right, cool. It doesn't affect, even though that's
so that goes to the question: are we renowned or insignificant?
No, I mean, I don't want to call nobody insignificant, because who am I to say they're insignificant? And
we, not they. We.
No, we're not.
Yeah, as a human race.
Well, I mean, that's a big.
Yeah, but that's the question we should be asking, dude. In my world, it's like, yo, you should be asking this question because everybody thinks there's somebody.
So let's get this. So let's break it down here. Are we renowned individuals or a generation or
we just
or life
insignificant?
or a being?
For instance, you drive
we
in a big ass desert.
We wouldn't have an alligator if we didn't have a Tyrannosaurus Rex, or we don't know that.
The way I see it is, you're in a desert. You step on a I don't know, scorpion. Does it really matter? You stepped on a scorpion. Is this significant? You're right next to this.
Yes, to that scorpion.
Okay, that's the question.
Yeah. So, are we insignificant or renowned?
Or renowned?
No, we're renowned.
All right.
Because we get to tell the story of our past, even if we don't know it all. You know, like, who's gonna tell our story? Like the Hamilton fucking show. Who's gonna tell our story? Our kids, our ex-wives, or our wives, or whoever is past us. If my family don't want to speak on me, I know my brother Heckler will. I know Drain will. I know people will. So our story continues. But is it an insignificant story to those that are too busy to listen?
All right. Do you feel like you're racing against time?
Yeah,
Why is that?
because our time is short the older we get.
Okay. And last question. What's your favorite day of your life?
Favorite day of my life? Oh, that's a good one. Favorite day of my life? I don't know it yet.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, could be.
That's what I always tell everybody because I don't believe in the past or the future because they're both there, but I'm right
I
here.
should say today.
Or today.
Yeah, because God forbid, there is no tomorrow.
Hell yeah. Yo, Paul, man, this interview has been amazing, though. Your insight, your mind is on another level, man. I never thought you were so in tune with self.
Thank you, bro. Like I said, I appreciate the conversation because we ain't never really had too many
Yeah, it was always like,
opportunities
what's
to
up,
talk.
what's up, what's up? We kept it moving.
Whether we moving too fast in the industry or you just hear our moment in a song that day with that verse. But, conversations matter.
Of course.
And then with the Crazy Hood crew, we all have a say. But the general population is, EFN because he's the man.
Yeah.
So we support that. And one of our successes as far as crew is we don't pocket check nobody. We all won because we all hood, the Crazy Hood.
Yeah.
So that alone is like builds our bond, keeps us strong. So we all got to say, bro, if any one of my brothers sit here with you, it'll be a totally different conversation because they're a totally different person.
Of course.
But for me.
And I told Garcia, I was like, yo, I got to get you in here.
Yeah, but for me, I said, all right, I'm going to go over there and talk to Gene and put it out there.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it because knowledge yourself is something that I believe every kid, every person should know or should acknowledge.
Facts.
And you're part of a crew that's pretty much renowned now and it represents us to the fullest, and I appreciate it very much.
Thank you, bro.
So I want to get an insight on how and when, and you brought that to light.
We super appreciative for the key to the city. We super appreciative for having our own day. For all those the naysayers or for all the doubters or for everybody that used to say what you said, Kendall, the suburb. Well, we able to build a structure on it, and now it's in the books.
It's marked. It's in the books.
My youngest daughter, because I have 6. My youngest daughter was like, so when I have kids and my grandkids, I could tell them my dad was in the books. Yeah,
you can look it up,
and it's documented.
It's documented.
So all that shit is dope, bro. And then why not? Who am I to say no? Who am I to say nah?
Man, those are all blessings, man. Except bring them.
So we in the mix, bro, and I'm here for it all. And there's so much work to be done.
Hell
so much more shit to do.
So let everybody know, man, where to find you, what plugs, where to go, what to see, what to look for.
All right, well, I appreciate, the K.O.S. Barbershop Podcast, Knowledge Yourself Podcast. Y'all can catch me on Instagram on Drink Champs Sports. That's 2 S's, Drink Champs Sports. The title might say Sports Champs, and I said that because the handle is different. The branding is important. People still want to play with the word and probably take, a Sports Champs too, because it happens. Really? So Drink Champs Sports can't be taken right. Sports Champs is the next platform, is the new lane that I'm venturing off in. On and Facebook, I'm trying to stay away from it, but I'm Paul Sports Champs on Facebook. But y'all just fuck with me on IG. There's so much other new platforms that are out there. Because I fuck with Rumble. I fuck with U42. I fuck with Twitch is a good one. But there's like 3-4 other platforms that I'm learning to touch. So content is everything, exposure is everything, bro. So Drink Champ Sports, 2 S's. Drink Champ Sports. Hit me up. I answer everything.
Nice. And Miami Meets Miami.
And Miami Meets Miami is a different networking, but yeah, catch me there too. I'm active. Miami Meets Miami. And then let's talk.
Hell yeah. All right. You guys heard it from the man himself, Paul. Drink Champ Sports, and that Pinot Grigio got me feeling nice.
Nice.
Harness the energy, exercise wisdom, live, love, and laugh. Peace, y'all.